Baldur's Gate 3 is a generational game in a lot of ways. It'll go down in history as one of the greatest RPGs of all time. But the problem is, after you're done playing it, you're gonna find yourself asking, okay, what the hell do I play now? Well, worry no longer, as I've compiled a list of 6 games that you should play if you loved Baldur's Gate 3. First off, if you enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3, then there's a pretty good chance that you'll like the other games made by its developer, Larian Studios. So why not check out their most recent title before Baldur's Gate 3, Divinity: Original Sin 2. It's got everything you'd want. Great storytelling and dialogue, fun characters to add to your party, and the same kind of tactical gameplay with different classes, powers, and gear to equip. It's a no-brainer and may even give you the same kind of buzz as Baldur's Gate 3 did. Another isometric RPG in the same vein that should scratch that BG3 itch is Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire. Considered by some, including us, to be one of the best RPGs ever. It was developed by Obsidian, who made The Outer Worlds, Fallout New Vegas, aka the best Fallout game, and are currently working on The Elder Scrolls-like Avowed, which coincidentally will take place in the same world as Pillars of Eternity 2. It's a tremendously underrated game that's just about as good as the works of Larian Studios. Now, the idea of an isometric computer RPG isn't something new. In fact, there's been plenty of them dating all the way back to the 90s. So why not play one of the games that was likely an inspiration for Baldur's Gate 3? Planescape Torment. Taking place in a darker setting within the D&D universe, you play as an amnesiac named the Nameless One. So you begin a quest to discover who you are and are joined by various other fun characters like Mort the Skull. It's a bit old and creaky by today's gameplay standards, but it's worth checking out just as a historical curiosity since it's the blueprint for modern CRPGs. Combat is a big part of Baldur's Gate 3's appeal, but so is its story and characters. So if that's what you're really after, you need to play Disco Elysium, a sort of detective story about an extremely down-on-his-luck alcoholic cop. You'll run into a series of suspects and weirdos and try to ask them questions. However, just about every part of your damaged psyche are not only attributes, but also characters in and of themselves, which will help or hinder your investigation. It's another generational game that may never be duplicated, and you need to experience this stellar title just once in your life. Now, in contrast to the previous title, maybe you just want an RPG that's more combat focused and full of all that wordy plot stuff. In that case, why not check out Diablo 4, Blizzard's latest sequel in their satanic series all about acquiring ascending colors of loot. Recent updates have made the game better than it's ever been before. And if you just want to smash stuff as a barbarian or blast stuff as a wizard, there are few games that will let you truly live out that power fantasy better than Diablo 4. Finally, let's face it, Elden Ring is always a good choice to put on any of these types of lists because Elden Ring rules. And I know it's obviously not the same kind of genre or feel as Baldur's Gate 3, but like that game, Elden Ring is the type of game that you could spend hours on just exploring, creating different builds, finding rare loot, and so much more. And while the story is more esoteric and less straightforward than Baldur's Gate was, there are still some quest lines that feature complex characters that have become fan favorites. It's just a shame that some of those quest lines are equally as complex as those characters. Plus, with the Shadow of the Erd-Tree DLC right around the corner, there's no better time to get yourself invested in Elden Ring, especially if you just finished Baldur's Gate 3 and you're looking for a new game to pump hundreds of hours into. For more gaming news and guides, be sure to check out thegamer.com. I'm Jamie Latour, and we'll see you next time.